of our journey. It is a transition to a state where the mind, or you can say ego, does not desire anything, and whatever the desires that manifest in the Shiva for us, and we continue our life at every moment in as long as prarabdha is there. Prarabdha sets the how long this body will continue and when it will drop. So that is the second main topic of the Bhakti, which is explained as the Bhakti with an attitude of desirelessness. So in the first group, we practice knowledge to loving relationship to Bhakti, hierarchy of Bhakti from form to formless. Then we understood the primary definition of the Bhakti, and Bhakti, then we picked up Bhakti as an identity transformation, and we picked up as a complete surrender of activity, as a mental dwelling we picked up last week, and also we picked up destroying the delusion. So today our journey would be the characteristics of the real, true Bhakti. There are 3 topics I have underlined. There are 7 or 8 topics, but I thought better to pick up only 3 until we transition to the chapter 8 of the Gita. So the first topic would be the desirelessness. What exactly is the desirelessness? Our ego is so strong, it says, how can you live without desire? There's a common saying. So we have to understand that what exactly, to have the state of a desirelessness is the highest form of the bhakti, which is known as nishkam bhakti. You might have read the literature, they use the word nishkam. Nishkam means not desire, no desire. Another topic that we will take up is the self-sufficiency while connecting to the Shiva all the time. So now you see desirelessness on one hand and self-sufficiency on the other hand. That is what it will combine the two, and then we have no fear and anxiety. Third topic, that while living in the same material world, what exactly should be the freedom from material desires? Why Ramakrishna and all our great masters always talk about this freedom from material desires. Oh, I'm living, I'm eating the food, I'm earning the money, I'm going to the job, and still you say the freedom from the material desire. What exactly it is? So out of the 7 topics, characteristics of the bhakti, I picked up only the 3 topics, and we will pick up the other topics and when we move ahead. So it is basically, you can say, the spiritual compass. The compass is always pointing to the north. My mind is always pointing to the real self. My mind is always pointing to the Shiva. Oh, Om Namah Shivaya. Oh, it's already there all the time. That what happens when we continue, and that is what is happening in your life also. That yes, throughout the week you have been doing it. Yes, that is wonderful. Basically, it moves the mind in the ego from confusion to clarity, from suffering to peace, from ego to self, from outer searching to the inner knowing. This is what I use the metaphor for compass. Compass always points to the true north. So, what is true north? Clarity, peace, self, inner knowing. And when all these things are there with me all the time, obviously I will get rid of that anxiety and duality and conflict. That is very important. I had a wonderful session. Even I think you can, or I will send you that. That will also help you a great deal moving towards desirelessness. A group session that I had just before your session, that why and how the Eastern wisdom pragmatically works in daily life, what is an event and what is an incident. Bhakti is appreciating the event and not getting entangled into the incident. What do you mean by that? So simple. What is simple? I gave the same example I'm giving you. You saw a beautiful girl. Seeing, perception, normal perception. So your mind appreciates the beauty and you move ahead. That is an event. You wake up in the morning, that is an event. You wake up in the morning and you say, I have a lot of stress. That event becomes the incident. You're seeing the girl, appreciate it, yeah, it comes and goes. And no, I have to talk to her, let me see, that becomes an incident. Event is also an incident. A mom used to tell me that I invite for Christmas Eve, I am a host and I get into anxiety every time. I have a lot of stress. Now I have to arrange this and that. I said, you are a host. Don't you see me that I also invite? I enjoy much more than eating alone. How come you have the anxiety? You are a host, you are inviting people for food. So you convert that event of celebration into an incident. What is behind the incident? It is my I-ness and my-ness. If my food, if I am appreciated or not, if my food is good or not. So I-ness and my-ness is behind the cause. But what is I-ness and my-ness? Why there it is? I experience the sense of incompleteness in me from where the I is created, and that I starts running outside. It searches for object, relationship, event to fulfill my completeness, and to fulfill my completeness I get into, but why I get into anxiety? Even I'm seeking happiness from the world outside. You already know happiness is not outside, that's why you get into anxiety. You are searching it,
trying to hang on to a transient world for happiness doesn't make a lot of sense.
Such a step-by-step understanding. Yes, that is because now why it happened. So that is why the Krishna in the very beginning said, Apara Prakriti is constantly changing. You claim the Apara Prakriti as a Para Prakriti. What is the Bhakti? Pointing to the north. No, the moment you feel the sense of incompleteness, Shiva is completeness. The moment you feel you have a frustration with the honey,
I put a bhakti in the search and constant thinking of God, Shiva, Krishna,
yes,
but
yes.
You don't have any time to ruminate over the world. Or I notice I go through the day, but I this stuff happening around isn't very noticeable because I'm focused on,
I
seeing the
appreciate it.
divine in everything, and I don't even have a chance to worry. It's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job. And you see, all the time, I'm guiding you, I'm filled with that Shiva consciousness. Where is their problem? Because I'm filled with the Shiva consciousness, I don't convert any event offered to me by the universe as my incident. Incident has an element of I-ness and minus. Behind I-ness and minus, there is a sense of incompleteness. I explained in deeply, so I'll send you that mm, that audio also. So so because that is a very higher text which I'm taking up in on Saturday's session, which sees it demands only and in what you demand, it demands only a cognitive understanding. So cognitive understanding will lead you to the higher state. Minus, bhakti comes, but now we come to the topic of characteristics of Nishkam Bhakti. Nishkam, not desire. Desirelessness. English translation would be the desirelessness. I will give few definitions so that you need to contemplate during the day. The moment any event turns out to be incident. I want to pick up one more thing here. Universe. The entire universe, Krishna says, we are talking of the Gita only. Universe has three factors. First factor is the person or object. Second factor is the time. And the third factor is location or the space. All the three factors create an event. Time, 10:30, we are going to meet objects and people, two people, you and me, and objects is the computer, internet, time, location, and object. This is an event. We are having an event. So now this event moves with the discernment, so there is no problem. Now you see a girl.
Well, I like to think you said we have an event, but I was like, more like an event is happening, right? It's not our event, it's an event.
Yes,
period.
that is very important. It is an event by the universe. I poke my nose, I get attached, so I start dating. Then that partner becomes the soulmate. And soulmate? Can the soul do the mating? What a crazy stuff you are talking about. There is no mating of the soul. Space is one. The space inside my house, it cannot mate with the space outside. You are talking something craziness. We don't understand. So we have converted that universal event, which is already designed by the universe, as an incident. And then there is no end to the suffering. So now, why? The main root is the desirelessness. So first definition of the desirelessness means transcending the ego-driven desire that causes the incident. That causes incident out of the event of the universe. Oh, I went to the mall. I see something good. Let me appreciate and check mine. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. So ego-driven desires, when you drop it, You have a loving devotion to the Shiva naturally. That is the first definition. It means in desirelessness, I am not looking for the desire. I am not looking for the desire. It just came to my mind. I'm not looking for the desire. I'm looking for desirer to must go. Desirer must go. Desirer says you are my soulmate. Desirer says you are my. You see the desirer. Come on, that girl or that partner is also a manifestation of the same Shiva. How can you hold on? When you hold on, you want to meet your expectations. So you see how beautifully Krishna, desirelessness. Ah, what a beautiful way he explains, and that is the first definition. That we will see this definition and this understanding in chapter 9 and in chapter 12. What a beautiful way. So I'm just picking up. Leave that. Second definition. We have everything because Shiva is with us all the time in all the locations. It means what? I am pointing mind to true north. It is compass. That is why I picked up the metaphor of it's always why we have everything. Why we have everything? Because I'm a servant of Shiva. I'm a friend of the Shiva. I have that thought. Remember, the same thought causes the incident, and when I change the thought, same thought leaves the incident. That what happens then? Bhakti. What happens? We have a loving devotion for the Shiva all the time, as you said that all the time. My mind is immersed in the Shiva. That is the second definition of desirelessness. Why? Because now you see, I only desire Shiva at all time, in all locations, or you can say in all events.
I was laughing the other day. I'm like, in this context, you're never lacking.
You're never lacking. So desirelessness comes. That is what amazing. Master is talking about. So the desirelessness comes because you are not lacking anything. Why you are not lacking? Because Shiva has everything. Because Shiva has everything and I belong to Shiva. That is the journey. I belong to Shiva. That is the meaning here. The second definition, we have everything. Now coming to the daily challenges of our life. That has to be dealt with ruthlessness. What is that? Desirelessness is no suppression. It is no inaction. It is no emotional reaction. I counted three pointers. It is not a suppression. I'm hungry and I'm eating the food. It is no suppression. Eat the food. Eat your food. Physical survival is required. No inaction. No, when there is no desire, then why should I act? Then you are crazy. You are not acting. It is all the three gunas are acting. It is all the Shiva who is acting, who is manifesting. So, if I become lazy, lethargic, I move into tamoguna. If I suppress, I move into rajoguna. If there is no emotional reaction, it is a mixture of raju and tamoguna. So no, I'm none of them. No Rajoguna, no. So that is another definition. Let us make it more clear. When there is no suppression, when there is no inaction, one is action, inaction, letharginess, sleepiness. I'm not doing anything because you told me desirelessness. Why should I act? My friend, when the thought says no action, that is also a desire. You drop this. Did you understand that? When I say no, I have no desire, so why should I act? Okay, don't act. You have an urge to go to the washroom. Don't act. Don't make these principles, don't distort the principles. Don't distort.
I like when people say, well, what if I just stop doing everything altogether? I say, well, why don't you try? Right? So try stopping and see what happens. Or, always say
you stop driving, you stop eating, you stop going to the washroom, you stop.
That lasts, right? That'll last not very long.
So you see that is why it does not make a sense if you have studied academically. Gita does not make a sense. Then we don't understand what the Krishna is saying. We have to understand. That is why I have broken up into parts. Another definition now is very relevant to you. It is the cognitive change in the mind. Cognitive change, cause and effect change in the mind. Why? Because it changes my attitude, behavior, and conduct. Why I have to change my attitude, behavior, and conduct? That is how I have to start living in an awakened and natural state.
I've noticed, I think part of desirelessness is recognizing the ridiculous notion that I affect anything.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I cannot anymore ever think that I go do something and it happens because I did something. Right? It's like there's so much happening and it's already in motion, right? I don't have any ability to and how can you have a desire when you realize that like you aren't the doer, but in a real desirelessness seems to happen, or it does happen, right? We can't make it happen. It seems to be almost like the grace or the knowledge.
So our dedication, commitment to the loving devotion towards the Shiva and the Krishna, and it will happen. But we should understand clearly how it is happening so that we can avoid the ego-driven thoughts. What the ego-driven thought says, no, let me suppress it because, Krishna says, no desire. That is a craziness. No inaction, no, that is another craziness. No emotional reaction. Krishna, you see, are you sure that you will not perform any action? Very good. If you perform no action, once you sleep, you will not be able to wake up. It is very deeper essence. You will not be able to wake up now. And the moment you are waking, in a waking state, action is already there. You are breathing. You are moving your body. You are moving from you take one step, you go to the restroom, you feel hungry. Hungry triggers your action. So there the master says, you apply the knowledge of the dual nature of the Krishna, Apara and Para Prakriti, by discernment. What does it mean by discernment? Here, by you distinguish between the essential nature and the natural needs of the body, breath, mind, intellect. What are the natural needs of body, breath, mind? Food, shelter, safety. Minus superfluous desires. So I recognize that, I'll give you a lot of examples of this. So that it is not that you suppress anything, you because of the discernment you have a sense of You have a sense of need versus the binding desire. What desirelessness is not becoming like a stone, passive, inactive, emotionally numb. You are craziness. Many people, I have found almost hundreds of people living in that Himalayas caves. They didn't have any master. They read it and they say it. They are living like a stone. They are totally active. They are totally emotionally numb. So there is a positive, so-called the positive side in relationship to the society is there, and but totally negative side as far as the awakening is concerned. How come you see that? Well, you start practicing that I will not move the body for 5 hours. I will hold it. I will stand on 1 feet. And after 10 years of the practice, you have some superhuman powers in the body without transformation in the mind.
I picture that creating a lot of karma, a lot of conflict would be happening, and forcing that sort of practice.
Conflict is already there in your mind. How did I know? My master told me when we were in the Himalayas, you go to that saint who is very famous. There is a long queue. Why there is a long queue? He had put his body until just below the neck for the last 10 years.
What does that have to do with anything other than,
I returned and I said,
of some point?
I said, he's not a saint, he's a crazy guy. And my master laughed. Yes, that is why I sent you. You have to guard yourself. You have to be very mindful. It means you have treated the body as your real self in which you are controlling. It will not work. It will not lead you to anywhere. So becoming like a stone actually is not the desirelessness is. Freedom from the ego-driven desires for status, for pleasure, for control and validation has to be dropped. That is the topic, desirelessness. Ignoring, now what is desirelessness is not? What is desirelessness? It is not ignoring basic human needs for food, shelter, safety, or suppressing natural biological functions. I remember something very good. Did I tell you before also? It is known as, in Tantra Yoga, it is known as Vajrali Mudra. There are 26, 27 mudras. Out of one is the Vajrali Mudra. Have you seen the catheter? Rubber catheter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that catheter is inserted into penis. First is the very smaller one, then bigger one, then the thicker one. And then you suck water. You practice it and throw it out. Then you suck the milk, you throw it out. You suck honey. There are 6 or 7 layers of the practice, and at last you are able to suck, because obviously you are physically training your particular organ, so you are able to suck the mercury. So in a positive way, that practice has to do with sublimation of desires. But if you keep your mind along with it, that will work. If you only want to demonstrate it, that you gain this power by a simple practice, even anyone can become a wrestler, anyone can become an athlete, anyone can become a soccer player. It's not a big deal. So you are training your particular organ of the body. But it is also on the positive side, it has a sublimation. Now what happens? Why you did it? you have a mental desire for the sex, and now you have tremendous control over your sexual organs. You don't allow it. Sublimation. Possible. But if you only do it at the physical level, then it is more a suppression. And then, so what many people do, many Americans have gone, I have seen a couple of videos also, and they say, wow, you are bringing the milk out of your sexual organ. You are bringing the mercury. Western people are more inclined towards what you can show and demonstrate.
It's funny you say that. I realized, I think if someone were to awaken, you couldn't really tell anyone about it anyways. It would be like a non-event to the rest of the world. I realized nothing changes for anyone.
Nothing changes.
And no one, how are you going to tell anyone about it? I was laughing thinking you could have an entire shift of everything and no one would notice or care. Right? In a way. Your loved ones wouldn't notice or care. I see.
So desirelessness is not a detachment in a sense of not caring. You are caring extra. Non-attachment to outcomes. Why? Because it is the ego-driven desire that is focused on the outcome. We are talking of that detachment and you are talking of this detachment. It's a very subtle. Acting from the love and the duty without being disturbed by the result. Why? Universe has created an event. Let universe belongs to Shiva. Let Shiva offer me the best outcome. I will accept it. Prasad Buddhi. Oh, a state of emptiness or lack of something you have it feeling. It is not desirelessness. You have a lack of, you have a state of inner fulfillment. Shiva is with me. Completeness, regardless of external circumstances. Now, if I have $1 million, recently, I was reading and I was laughing. Elon Musk put his salary $500 billion a year. Is he feeling a sense of completeness? We have to ask this question to him. That needs to be done. So it is ego-driven fulfillment. No, we don't want that. Shiva fulfillment. Yes, I want that. So it means what? All these factors attacks your personal will created by the ego so that you can merge with the will of the Shiva, and that is where the loving devotion works. Okay.
And even the subtlest desire impedes the connection with the divine for sure, right? I noticed, when those moments where I feel like, okay, I have zero right here, my heart is so open, I feel empty and light, right? I realized, in that moment I had no desire, but I also felt that connection. But the desires are so many and so subtle. And I realized,
you see,
interesting.
You pointed one thing very good expression. Your heart is open when there is a desirelessness. That is why what the Krishna is teaching us. Your heart doesn't open. It constricts. Why it constricts? Because the ego comes. What is the ego? Ego is a limited being.
Mm-hmm.
So I already created a limited being in me which wants to work to have a self-fulfillment. Not possible. But where is the root cause? Is the desire coming from the ego-driven. So I have to drop it. You rightly pointed out that subtlest, even the subtlest, will cause you the trouble. That is why the master says, but on the same time, at the same time, I'm emphasizing, at the same time, there are natural needs for food when hungry. Food when hungry, desirelessness. But I go against the desirelessness when I demand the specific food for pleasure or status. I don't want to say, but still I'm saying, but no, I'm not naming these couple. So this couple invited me for they also invite me, sometime for lunch or a dinner, and I know why they have invited me. Each partner wants to prove how good, compassionate they are towards the other, and the other is not listening. Why you are not listening to yourself? And they both claim that they follow what I have taught them. So should I not go for a lunch? Yes, let me go. Let me enjoy myself. I have nothing to do with it. So they have fixed some date, and they said, no, you have to be there. I said, okay, I'll be there. Choose the restaurant of your choice. I said, okay, I have chosen. Here is the address. Remember this, food when hungry, yes, I must eat. Specific food for pleasure or status, no. Rest when tired, luxury beyond basic comfort. I need to sit on a chair, I need a comfort to talk to you. But if it is a luxury, you see, my friend, I have a $600 chair. And from there, while sitting on that chair, I'm giving you a talk on the Gita, then you are crazy. Yes. So we have to recognize. Shelter from weather. Yes. Recognition and shelter for recognition, for praise and validation is the problem. Look at those celebrities. 5 acres of land, 50 cars. Can they sit on all the 50 cars? That, you did distinction between the desirelessness and desire. So even if you have, say, $1 billion, you have it. Why to demonstrate it? And there comes another budge. I want to, the Indian culture, when people understand, even Indians, when they really understand the Indian culture and the Indian spirituality, and wherever they are working, whatever they are working, they had the spiritual context into it. Having said that, even I saw this, it is a Joho. It is a Joho, like the Microsoft, like the Google enterprise subscription. You have all the documents, etc., etc., etc. You can prepare you can save the document, you can have the email, etc., etc., etc. The Google Suite, you can see.
That's what we use at work.
Yes. Now you understand. So Joho Suite is also there. It started before Google Suite, long back in 1996. Google have started in 2005. He came to US, the founder of that. He's an Indian guy. He left US. He started the journey. He opened the Joho Suite in a village. It's a bootstraps company. Means that whatever the profit he earned, he invested into it. There is no shareholder. The total evaluation is $12 billion. He still lives in the village. The anchor asked him that, people like you, they should have a private jet and few cars. He doesn't have, he rides on a cycle from the village and he goes to his office, which is 25-story, where 10,000 people work.
Pretty cool.
Joho. So I switched once Google Suite info@girishjha.org to Joho. I had to spend $250 a month because I have to save sometime audio file, sometime video file. So it piles up. It goes to 1 terabyte and 2 terabyte.
Yeah, I think we're 2,000 a month now for our Google Suite. That's so much. So much storage.
You just check the Joho. I switched on from $250. I am paying now $78 annual, and it is so wonderful.
Really? I'll check it out.
It has got the
How do you spell it?
G-O-H-O, Joho. G, zebra.
Cool. Interesting.
Joho.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Cool.
And so he said, why should I go for it? He answered that. Can you see the desirelessness in him? He has 47% stake he has given to his sister, another 37% stake to his rest of his, saving 5% of the stake in the company, the private holding company, no share. He took only 5% of his stake in the company and the rest is distributed. 10,000, total 18,000 employees are working worldwide. $12 billion holding company.
That's cool.
Rest when you see that is medical care when sick. Yeah, natural needs. I should go. More possessions than we are needed is the problem. So now see the common misunderstandings. What desirelessness does not mean. Becoming like a stone with no feelings or responses. I'm a meditator. I'm a great master. No, you are a crazy master.
I've been to ashrams where everyone looked like they were zombies. They were like, I mean, what happened? Do you have lobotomies or something? Like, why do you have no personality? So it's really bizarre.
I made it a point. I met more than 200 masters during my journey. Even before and after I met my own master. And the moment I saw that this guy looked so serious, I said, better to leave this guy. I will not talk to this guy.
I remember when I first met you, you were laughing, belly laughing. I walked in the room and I was like, that's my guy right there. Yeah, because I had been to other people there, so, I thought, that's not spiritual. What is that? Why would you be unhappy? I don't want to be unhappy. Yes. I'm not going to follow that person.
So, common misconceptions, being like a stone with no feeling responses, ignoring basic human needs for food, shelter. I only take 1 meal a day. Yes, you keep on taking 1 meal a day and remain suppressed. Whatever my natural needs is, I will take it. By discernment, I can reduce it. Now, you came to my house and I took another type of bread. By discernment, I take it. Because of the age factor, because of the health considerations, is better. Becoming a passive and inactive, suppressing natural biological functions, becoming emotionally numb or detached. I am crazy. So what is the real? Freedom from the ego-driven desires, not being pushed around by wants for status, pleasure, control, and validation. Why? I am pointing to the true north, where in every situation Shiva is with me. Loving devotion. I accept the divine will. Oh, I am placed in this event at this moment, at this time with you. Let me offer this event to the Shiva. Let I serve the Shiva by talking to you. Universe has this event. Are you understanding? Universe has this event with a partner. Let me use this event to serve the Shiva through you, through partner, through employer, through work, through walking, Through talking. So
In
that
almost
is known as the
every
guru.
activity. Even if I find go off, I say, Lord, through your grace, please,
Yeah, yeah.
guide me in the future not to do that again, right?
Yes, yes,
Kill
yes.
this, desire in me. And I constantly am just remembering, oh, I'm not alone. I can just ask for that.
Sure. Yes, we
And
should have.
it's so powerful, like more powerful than all the exercises. Trying to do it on your own is almost impossible, but
Yes. So then what happens? You accept the divine will. When you are into that mood and the mood of the mind, you have already accepted the divine will. People do not understand, explain me the divine will. No, you have to follow the practice. You have to bring about a cognitive change. You have to love Shiva or the Krishna. You have to do the practice. Then only you will understand. That is why it is very easy for you to understand. That is what the divine will is. And when the divine will is, then you have a non attachment to outcomes. How come you have a non attachment? I am serving Shiva who is manifesting through you in this event. So that event is not turned into an incident, it is only an event.
this Christian guy was telling me, he says, talking about God, and he said, well, even, good things and also bad events, it's all God, right? And I said, well, to assume that we know the difference between a good and a bad event, right, is how do we know that maybe that outcome is the best thing that could happen to us, right? We are too small to understand, God's will.
Yes,
But
God,
I can
yeah.
see, oh, that's good and that's bad. I accept that and not that. But I think we can't possibly know what's good for us.
It means it is the ego driven desire. It's a ego says this is good and bad. When the universe has created this event in my life, so let the Shiva take care. Nothing good, nothing no, nothing good, nothing bad. Let the plan, God, Shiva plan override my personal preferences. Let Shiva plan in this event override personal preferences. What is that known as? That is known as surrender. So it's a 99% mental answer is yes. Answer is yes. Natural needs: food when hungry, rest when tired, shelter from the weather, safety from the danger, medical care when sick, for example. And what is artificial desires you need to transcend? What are those artificial desires? Specific foods for pleasure and status. So this couple told me to you choose the restaurant. I said, okay, I will choose the restaurant. Have you really listened to me and heard me, this couple? Please stop blaming and complaining. Live your life. No. There you have a choice. There you will keep the choice. So I have a choice to choose the restaurant. What you are talking to me. I will be happy. No, I will not be happy looking at both of you. But what should I do? They don't understand. So I use that opportunity. I will use that opportunity to see if anything, if the God plan is there. Luxury beyond basic comfort, recognition and praise, control over others. We have to transcend more possessions than needed. The wealthy person. Now let us understand little deeper in a deeper way, so that you have a clarity. A millionaire and a homeless person both need food, but their relationship to that need is completely different. The beggar, anxious, desperate, will compromise dignity for food, constantly worried about the next meal. And a millionaire, calm, secure as far as when hungry but not anxious about the food, it is always available to that guy. Lucky we are, because of the grace of the Shiva, we both have uh, that state. So, desirelessness, devotee, how can you define it? Like the millionaire, but with the spiritual wealth. First, I gave the example of a beggar, millionaire, and then I said desireless seeker. Who is that? You are a millionaire. Why you are a millionaire? Shiva is with me. Shiva is with me. Has everything they need because they are connected to the infinite source. The seeker is connected to the infinite source. I have seen hundreds of people. I still remember it was hardly 22-year-old guy who had only, they wrap around half the clothes below the waist, and the top half is naked. So that is how many seekers live in the Himalayan caves. I still vividly remember. So my master on 29th, 30th and 31st of December, we used to have a huge celebration. I have a couple of videos. I will find it out. So there are 500 or 600 people used to attend that gathering. And there we all, disciples of our master, we used to cook the food, we used to gather the cloth and food stuff. So we used to serve all the beggars as if they are the king, the food. And plus, after the food, we said, here is a small gift from the God. So my master gave him a full packet of woolen blanket and some waste and some food articles to him. He took it gracefully. He said, yes, you are my master, I will accept it. This 22-year-old guy, who is half naked, he was living in the Himalayan small cave near the Bank River. So after everyone is gone, he returned that gift with tears in his eyes. You have given me, and I am returning you because I don't need it. Master said, that is why I love you. You don't have anything and you don't need desirelessness. I get the tears, every time I talk about that guy, I don't know where he is now. So my master said, you take this guy to his cave. You should be the security for him, so that you also rise in awareness. He was hardly 22. I was also 25 or 26 at that time, but I did not have that level of clarity. Half. And when I went into his cave, he has torn clothes all over, and he had some paddy to sleep on the floor. That guy said that I have had enough. I don't need it. You can give it to someone. I still remember this guy.
He's freer than the rest, huh? No doubt.
No, and I could see the glow on his face, charming and full of love and compassion. And even the mice were housing his cave. No worries, fearless. Well, perhaps, he was a born seeker. That's why he was at that higher stage, even at the age of 22. So there are many people. A surgeon in an emergency has preference, would rather be at home or with the family, but operates from a higher principle. It depends on you. Personal desire, I want to go home and relax. Higher calling, no, this person needs a surgery to live, to survive. I must serve the Shiva through him. I must save his life. That is the loving devotion. That is the desirelessness, both. So now here I have added both by this example. So I find the joy in serving life means I'm serving Shiva. Jesus put this principle into his practice for more than many years. And from there he concluded love is God. Eastern wisdom is a technology. We can analyze and reflect upon these great masters. The river and the ocean, a river has a natural direction but doesn't struggle against the rocks or curves in its path. Doesn't struggle. Crushes the rocks into sand. So how much resistance there be? That is why I gave an example of this 22-year-old guy. Oh, at that age, it is so cold in the cave. And he said that I don't need it. But they are different category of seekers. We cannot match them. With all humility, we should check. We should understand that. No, we cannot match. So whatever our limitations, we should work with our limitations. Always moving towards its destination, river. No resistance, accepts whatever landscape it encounters. Whether it's a Mississippi River or Ganges River or any river. Tremendous force without strain or anxiety. I don't know whether you have experienced that. Ganges River starts at the height of 15,000 feet above the sea level, and another 5 miles down in the Himalayas, my master had a monastery. So there were big rocks, and underneath the Ganges River flows at the speed of 40 to 50 miles an hour, roaring sound. Master used to say that once you understand these principles, a seeker should have a roaring sound like a Ganges River. Even if the big rock is there, it will be crushed into rock, sand. We have to continue the journey until we find the last step. He used to give those metaphors and examples. See, eating natural needs without artificial desire. I must have pizza tonight, nothing else will satisfy me. Anxiety, a favorite restaurant is closed. Eating for emotional comfort, status, or pleasure seeking. Attachment to specific taste, brands, and dining experiences. These are the attitudes of a non-seeker. And what is the attitude of a seeker? I will eat whatever nutritious food is available. Yes, I will choose nutritious.
Some people have so many preferences about the most ridiculous things. I think, oh my goodness, you're creating so much pain for yourself.
Yeah. So it means your mind is already obsessed with the food. You don't have a time for meditation.
I mean, your eyes has to be a certain way and stuff. Like, oh my goodness.
I don't tell anyone. I don't say anything unless they are ready. Do you know that I told you, Krishna says, don't misguide people by poking your nose. Here is the principle, you are doing wrong. No, unless they are ready. Even I did not say these principles at that time. Gratitude for any food that maintains the body for service. Loving devotion. Eating simply to maintain energy, not for pleasure seeking. I had the ignorance, even if Indian bread, if I eat 3 bread, I will have more energy. Now I eat only half the bread, I have more energy. Eating simply to maintain energy, not for pleasure seeking, equal contentment with a simple food. Or food that we prefer, you like, which is nutritious, it's okay. It's not that, I will only take food that I don't like.
Yeah, I understand the difference.
No, that you are suppressing. Then you are creating a problem in your spiritual life. Before desirelessness, I'm giving an example. I must get promoted to prove my worth. Before desirelessness, anxiety about salary, income, recognition, career advancement, competition with colleagues, and employee self-worth tied to professional success. Self-worth, Elon Musk, 500 million, 500 billion every year salary. And after desirelessness, I will do my best. I will do my best work as service to the God, service to the Shiva. It doesn't mean that I still keep 500 billion. Why to declare it,
I mean, who would want to hang on to that anyway?
Unnecessary. But we both are laughing and understanding, but people will laugh at us. Look at these two crazy guys. So after desirelessness, I will do best work as service to the Shiva. Contentment, whether promoted or not, collaboration instead of competition, self-worth from the connecting to the Shiva, not external achievement. I have a self-worth because I'm connected to the Shiva, self-worth because I remember the Shiva all the time, self-worth because I don't forget. I remember He is with me, He is everything, in all the location, in all the events. I don't allow the event to turn into an incident, so I'm free. Let us see another example of relationship before desirelessness. My family must behave according to my expectations. You have all those politicians, and especially the male politicians, they force their wife, you have to come on the stage. You have to say these things, then I'm committed. We all know. I really need not to say the name of. No, I am committed to my family. Why you have to demonstrate it? Committed to family. We are not going into your family. We are not interviewing. My family must behave according to my expectations. Emotional manipulation to get desired responses. Anxiety when loved ones make different choices. Love conditional or on others' behavior before desireless. And after desirelessness, I'm making it very clear and lucid to you. I will love and serve my family as the manifestation of the Shiva. Where is the problem? Whether you agree with me or not, who cares? And I can bet you they have to change. They change. I have seen not in my only in my life, but I have seen in lives of hundreds of people who approached me when I said, no, you change first. And I saw them, their family have transformed. Acceptance of others' free will and choices. You accept what the partner says. And you have the restaurant. No, can we go to the restaurant today to have this dinner? Yes, we will go. So which restaurant you want to? Follow their will, as is the Shiva will. Why? Because we are in a family. Why? Because you can crush your ego-driven desires. Provided we have the resources, we have the means, we should go. If not, we should not go. Peace regardless of how others respond, whether in a family or anywhere. Unconditional love flowing from the Shiva all the time towards family, towards the profession, towards the job, everything is there still. So I'm still caring the family. So if I'm caring the family, it doesn't mean that I'm a material person. I'm a 100% spiritual person. But 99.9% attitude has changed. That is the meaning of being a spiritual person. We have many householders who have big families, in India who are great teachers. Nisargadatta Maharaj is one of them. Nisargadatta Maharaj is one of them.
I mean, a family is a teacher in itself, right?
Yeah.
to get along with a household of different people, something.
Take one more example that in the like health considerations. Before desirelessness, you have a panic at any physical discomfort. I went to the doctor last time, so he took out the blood. He said, you have a problem? I said, no, I don't have a problem. No, no, you can keep your head. I said, no, I will see that what is happening. And before that, I saw one patient, no, again, you are taking a blood. It is so much painful to me. They enter into anxiety. And the medical assistant brought a glass of water. You please take it, relax, and then we will take. Unnecessary. I am deeply attached to the body. Desperate attempts to avoid aging or illness. We have a beautiful example. I don't remember, but you can Google out. There is one software expert who spends about $10 million on his body to prevent aging process. He's in US. We have good stuff only in US, So because we have so much of money. Identity crisis when body changes. Constant worry about health maintenance. A body is given by the Shiva. Let it sensible health care without anxiety. That is your desirelessness. Acceptance of natural aging process. If I turn my hairs into black hairs, will it make a difference to me? No. Identify secure. Regardless, identity secure. Secure identity, regardless of physical condition. Your identity is with the Shiva. That is what the loving devotion is. That is what the surrender is. Trust that the body changes. Serve spiritual evolution. It is serving the spiritual evolution. Changes in the body. Still maintaining health responsibility, but without prior fear-driven obsession in your life. We will continue with, there are a few of them, we will understand the psychology behind it, and so that you have a clarity of this surrender word, loving devotion word. We simply say, I love Jesus, I love Shiva, and the next moment I go home and I fire at my partner, I fire at my kids, and I say I have a loving devotion for the God. I attend the Mass prayer full of love. Everything is full of love. But the moment I look at the partner, I have a face of anxiety, hesitation, and what kind of person you are. Are you talking of loving devotion? Loving devotion to the Jesus means loving devotion to whom you come into contact with. They are the manifestation of the Jesus. There's a big difference of discernment, understanding, cognitive understanding, and a non-seeker. So one guy asked me that, one thing, you see the spirituality is now have increased more. How come? I asked him. He said, the long queue in the churches, in the temples, in the religious places. People go to these religious teachers and the masters. And I said, no. They are 100% non-seekers. Maybe rare one, maybe a seeker. They want a quick fix of their problems, which they have created. Merit and demerit, favorable and unfavorable circumstances. Unfavorable is my doing. Why? Because of my